The Ice Beer Project Double Down. Genesee Ice Beer. 5.5% alcohol. Yes, it says beer. Years ago when it was above 5%, you never would see a product say beer. I'm noticing more and more that they are saying beer instead of lager, ale, or malt liquor. I don't know if it was a convention or a practice or an actual rule that has either been replaced or is no longer enforced. Here's the old Genesee Ice can with that traditional Genesee, founded 1878 label. Maria Devon, the girl next door, and myself went on a brewery tour of Genesee, at least the pilot brewery, this week, and we were very impressed. They don't take you on the tour of the main brewery, and apparently they never have done that. That's what we really wanted to see. And she was like, I bet if we would have insisted, they would have let us do it. I don't know about that, but now I kind of wish she would have insisted. The brewmaster at the pilot brewery seemed reticent, seemed a little reluctant to discuss this product. I was asking him about it. He didn't seem to want to talk about it. But I think the main reason is because he doesn't handle these brands. He handles the Genesee 12 Horse Ale, which he said was a failure in sales because people just wouldn't buy it. But then they kept asking for it, so they offered on draft only at their brew house. This beer was introduced in 1993. It's always been 5.5% alcohol. I was asking him, I said, do they skim the ice off the top and all that? And he was like, I don't know about it. He didn't seem to really know. He said, I don't think they use a skimmer. He said, I think it's more like a situation of where when they filter it, they do it so cold that it makes ice crystals, and apparently the filters hold back the ice or something like that. But he did seem like he did seem like he wanted to get on to different topics, so I didn't press the issue. Here we have Bryan Vienna sausage made with chicken pork, packed in chicken stock. Bryan, the flavor of the South. Interestingly, this is not featured on their website, which I'll link below. And it says here, distributed by Sweet Sue of San Diego, California. So, the Bryan logo is a registered trademark of Saramar LLC. I'm going to have to do some more research on this. Sweet Sue, they have their own major line of canned meats and chicken and all. So it seems like this is a California-made product. It's just branded Bryan, the flavor of the South. But, oh, okay, San Diego is in Southern California in the Southwest, if you want to be techno. But when you say I'm a Southerner, I don't think too many people are thinking of California. That would be a Westerner. I remember our Brady Bunch episode where the father was like, well, we actually live in the West. Okay. If you don't live north of the Ohio River and east of the Mississippi River, that quadrant, east of the Mississippi, north of the Ohio, chances are you're not going to see this beer. They did sell Genesee Ice around here for about 6 months in 2014. They did nothing to promote it. It didn't sell, and it was pulled. The Genesee Cream Ale. 12-ounce squat bottles. I have bought the ice on road trips. I was at a store in Ohio getting ready to enter on Interstate 70. I went to this grocery store, and they had these cans for 99 cents for a 24 ounce. We do not have prices that can touch that, believe me. People talk about how expensive New York beer is. Louisiana cannot touch those prices. They were so much cheaper. $12.97 for a 30-pack of Milwaukee's Best Ice. That would be $17.50 here, okay? Now, it'll even out because when I was in Ithaca, New York, at that Walmart, you know, the prices were so low. The oil change was the same exact price as here, by the way. Oil change, the oil change and tire rotation. But their gas prices are pretty high relative to here, so it kind of balances out. This ice beer, you know, in my opinion, other people rave on it. I don't think it's really as good as your Natural Ice, which is like my, people always asking, what's your everyday beer? That's kind of like my everyday beer, one of my everyday beers. I don't think it's good as Ice House or Bud Ice or Keystone Ice or Milwaukee's Best Ice. I think it's a little inferior to your major brand ice beers, frankly. Your Old Milwaukee Ice, for instance, which you have almost no chance of finding unless you're living in that Ohio area. Milwaukee's Best Ice is so obscure, it's not even listed on their website. It's one of those hidden Pabst brands. You may know that Pabst Brewing has, these things do not come out so easy. Pabst Brewing has brands that exist, but you would never know it by looking on their website because they're not featured. And you say, well, they don't make it. And you walk in a store, there it is. And some people have told me that they've seen Falstaff on the shelves. And from what we can understand, what Pabst does is right before the copyright is about to run out, and they don't want somebody to take their trademark, they'll hurry up and make about, one barrel of Falstaff, and then put it on the market, and to keep the copyright going. If I ever saw that, I would buy like every bit of it in the store. I think I used to buy this stuff. The Genesee Ice doesn't have any off aromas, off flavors, or anything like that. I mean, I think their regular Genesee is kind of inferior to your Budweiser, Pabst Blue Ribbon, Coors, and Miller High Life. Okay, that's just my opinion. I don't think it's bad. Maria Devon, she loves it. She says I slag on Genesee. It's just the way I feel about it. Yeah, their cream ale is better than the others because the others don't make a cream ale. This does have like that, with Genesee you get like that papery undertaste. The flavor in the aroma is pretty neutral. It's like, it smells, you get a little of that sourdough, a little beer aroma, malt, corn syrup, dextrose, the brewer's syrup, and mild hop. Same thing in the flavor. It's just that standard beer flavor. IBU's probably 12, might be 15 on an ice beer, but it's kind of a neutral, dull flavor. I think people would like that because I think a lot of men and women who drink, but it's mostly men, this kind of stuff, but men and women who drink these kind of beers, they're not looking for a whole lot of flavor or intense contemplative reflections on the beer. They say 99 cents a 24 pack. I mean a 24 ounce, I'm just going to buy it and, guzzle it. And for that purpose, yeah, it's perfect. Although I think the Old Milwaukee Ice would be a more perfect solution in Ice House and Natural Ice, even definitely Natural Ice. But it's fine, it's okay. But it's not bad. If you look on Rate Beer and Beer Advocate, yeah, it's bad. But then their whole viewpoint is that I hate ice beer, so they're all bad. I hate the style. I try to grade things according to style. You look at it within the context. This is not St. Bernardus Abbot 12, okay? But for what it is, it's fine. I can't get it. I saw it in the store. I said I'll buy it. I'm not going to chase after. I wouldn't even make a special effort to get it. But if I see it and I'm on a road trip for 99 cents for this big can, yeah, I'm going to buy it. The Bryan sausage is a little more expensive than your other ones. But frankly, it's no better. It's no worse. Might be a little saltier, now that I'm thinking about it. So you might say, well, it has more character. I don't know if it has more character. It has more salt. Libby's, Armor, Star, they're just as good as this. I can't say they're better, but they're just as good. And you'll find sometimes the Libby's at Walmart 2 for $1. You can't even see this. You won't even see this at Walmart. At least I have never seen it at Walmart. I bought it at Mathern's, more of a specialty store. Sort of an obscure, I think, kind of obscure Vienna sausage brand. You may see it. I mean, I'd recommend checking it out. If you're a ticker, you know, say I've had it. I've had the Brian. And you can put the review on rateviennasausages.com. It is what it is, and what it is not exactly elevated, but it's not horrible either. I have something that could be quite horrible coming up. That will be, oh my. Anyway, and it also comes from Genesee. There's your clue. And compared to something like that, this would probably be, you know, dynamite. So, thank you for watching this double down. You know what this is going to pair with. Any kind of, you know, ham sandwich, quesadillas, your typical average run-of-the-mill ordinary stuff.